Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're digging into an article from NMI, and it's looking at something that's really changing the game in payments. Tap-to-pay technology.
Yeah, it's a fascinating development.
So our mission here is to, unpack the key insights from NMI's piece on this, really understand the benefits it's bringing, especially for businesses.
Exactly. And at its core, Tap to Pay basically turns a regular smartphone or tablet into a payment acceptor.
How does it do that?
Well, it uses the built-in NFC chip that's in most phones already.
Yeah.
The tech you use when you tap your phone to pay somewhere.
Right.
This just flips it so the business's phone can receive that tap payment.
Got it. And the big headline here, reading the article, seems to be that this gets rid of the need for those traditional payment terminals quite often.
Yeah, or at least reduces reliance on them significantly. The NMI piece definitely frames it positively, pointing out some really clear advantages, especially, I think, for small and medium-sized businesses.
Okay, so let's unpack those. What's benefit number one?
Well, probably the most immediate one is zero hardware investment, or close to it.
That sounds like a big deal. I mean, for a small shop, maybe a food truck, or someone just starting out, buying or leasing those terminals, that's a real cost.
It absolutely is. It can be a barrier. But with Tap to Pay, they can just use a device they probably already own, their smartphone, maybe a tablet they use for other things.
So no extra box they have to buy just to take cards.
Exactly. It really opens up electronic payments to, well, almost anyone.
And if you're taking payments on a phone, that must change where you can take them too, right? Which leads to, I guess, a faster checkout.
Definitely. That's the second benefit the article highlights. Think about it. You're not tied to a counter anymore.
Right.
Staff can take a payment anywhere. On the shop floor, at a restaurant table, maybe curbside pickup.
Okay, so less queuing.
Less queuing, quicker transactions. The article even mentions maybe having separate lines, one for cash, one quick tap line. Just smoother, faster for everyone. Happier customers.
Which probably helps with accepting more types of payments too. It's not just tapping a card anymore, is it?
No, not at all. That's another key point, broader payment acceptance. Because it's using that NFC tech. It takes pretty much any NFC payment. So contactless cards, obviously, but also all the big digital wallets, Apple Pay, Google Pay, Samsung Pay, even wearables sometimes.
So merchants can basically say yes to however the customer wants to pay.
More often, yeah. Less friction, fewer lost sales, hopefully.
Okay, shifting gears a bit to the operational side. What about training staff? Is this easier?
That's a big one the article points out, simplified training. I mean, think about it. The payment interface is just an app, usually pretty intuitive like any other app they use. It's generally much, much simpler than training someone on the menus and buttons of a dedicated, sometimes kind of clunky terminal.
Okay, that makes sense. But security, taking payments on just a regular phone, how secure is that, really?
Yeah.
The article mentions enhanced security.
Yeah, critical point. And it's not just the app, it's a combination of things. First, you have the phone's own built-in security encryption, tamper resistance features.
Okay.
Then you layer on payment-specific security. Things like tokenization are key.
Remind me what that is again.
Tokenization replaces the actual card number with a unique one-time use digital token. So even if that data were somehow intercepted, it's useless to a fraudster.
Oh, right.
Plus, these solutions have to meet strict industry standards like PCI DSS compliance. And there are specific certifications like MPOC that stands for Mobile Payment on Commercial Off-the-Shelf Devices, ensuring the software itself is secure for payments on standard phones.
And I suppose the device stays with the merchant, unlike some terminals left on counters.
Exactly. That makes it much harder to tamper with or attach a skimmer, and it usually locks when not in use, so multiple layers working together.
All right. So that's security, plus not having that specialized hardware. That must lead to lower maintenance costs, too.
Precisely. That's another benefit NMI highlights. There's no special box to break down, need specific vendor updates, or cost a fortune to repair or replace.
Troubleshooting is probably simpler, too.
Usually, yeah. It's often just an app issue on a familiar device. Maybe restart the app, restart the phone. Less need for specialized, potentially expensive support calls.
What about growing a business or maybe needing more payment points just for busy season? How does Tap to Pay handle that? Scalability.
Yeah, improved scalability and flexibility is huge. Deployment is basically downloading an app.
Really? That simple?
Pretty much. So if you suddenly need more payment points for the holidays, or you're doing a pop-up event or opening a new spot, You can just activate the app on existing staff phones or tablets almost instantly.
Okay, no waiting for hardware to ship, no big upfront cost, just to scale up temporarily.
Exactly. Much more agile.
And the last benefit the article mentioned, something about data.
Right. Native data and insights. Many of these tap-to-pay apps have analytics built right in, or they connect to a web portal that's easy to understand.
Easier than trying to pull reports from an old terminal, maybe.
Often, yes. Because it's in a familiar app or web format, merchants might actually, look at their sales data more often, see trends, peak times, what's selling, which helps with forecasting and making smarter decisions.
Okay, so let's quickly recap. We've got zero hardware cost, faster checkouts, taking more payment types, easier training, strong security, lower maintenance, easy scaling, and better data access.
That sums it up well.
The article really paints a picture of this technology empowering businesses, especially those smaller ones, letting them compete and offer modern payment options affordably. It also touches on how partners can use this to boost what they offer merchants.
It really lowers the barrier and changes the dynamics.
Definitely. So thinking about this NMI article and where things are heading, here's a final thought. As payment acceptance gets baked more and more into the devices we carry every day, what kind of new opportunities does that really unlock for businesses? And how might it keep changing how we as consumers actually shop and pay for things?
It's an interesting question. Payments becoming almost invisible, just part of the interaction.
Something to think about.
And that brings us to the end of our deep dive. We hope you found this discussion helpful, and we encourage you to keep asking those tough questions. The payments world is always changing, and the more you know, the better you'll be able to navigate those changes and reach your goals. Thanks for listening.